to Plotly, which is data visualization. It's worth noting that Numpy and pandas are more closely tied to matplotlib, which I'd recommend researching, but I have more experience with Plotly due to work. So Plotly creates amazing looking graphs, as you'll see. It's really easy to use, and it's supported by multiple languages like JavaScript, R, and even MATLAB. So if you learn just the words you need to, like the variable names and the structure that you need to use to create graphs, then you can use it in like other languages. Works perfectly, really nice. Okay, so Plotly is kind of a pain to deal with when importing. We need to import it into offline mode, because if you do it in online mode, you need to log in, and then it uploads all your charts. It's kind of a pain, but yeah. And then we're going to import our old friend Numpy. We have to also init notebook mode due to offline mode. Yeah. Still loading. Yeah, it's kind of a pain. You have to do it with all offline mode stuff, but it's nice otherwise. It's still loading. Well, so we're going to create some random data using Numpy. This is another thing that's really handy for Numpy. You know, create n random numbers. We're going to do 1,000 twice. So you've got random x values and random y values. And that's also still loading. Pardon? Yeah, shouldn't have to. Let's just see how it goes. Okay, so here we're actually going to do some stuff. So here we've got go.scatter. Go is the graph objects, which is the thing I should have mentioned up here. That's all the different graph objects, to be honest. So scatter is like a scatter plot, but it's technically a line chart by default. Don't ask me. But that's why we've got mode equals markers, because that tells it we actually want a scatter plot. Plugging in the x to be the random x and y to be the random y. Really easy to use. We're also then setting a variable data to be an array of just trace, because data is a list of traces, and we'll see what that means in a bit. And we're going to plot that. Ah, yes, it does work. And ta-da! That is 1,000 random data points scattered. So this is Plotly. I'm going to put this on closest data because otherwise it looks weird. So you've got that. You can like zoom in. Not really sure what's happening with this laptop, but is there a mouse? Oh, there's a mouse. Oh. Yeah, so that's because I actually zoomed in there. But yeah, really nice to use. Sure. Anyway, so now we're going to talk about what multiple traces mean. So now we're also going to create a bar graph, which is really basic, go.bar. And it's got the x values 1, 2, 3, and the y values of 4, 5, 6. I'm extremely creative. Then we've also got data2 as a variable, which has trace, which is what we've plotted up here, and trace2, which is the bar. And we're going to plot that. And that's what happens. They're both plotted together. That's how multiple traces comes in, so you could have multiple line charts and bar graphs and, you know, area graphs and, yeah. Okay, so fulfilling my previous promise of proving Numpy works, is we're going to have that linear space again. We're going to assign it, and we're just going to create a scatter. But this time we want it to actually be lines, we're not using mode equals markers. And then we're just going to plot it. That's fun. Oh, I don't know how that happened. There we go. Look at that. So that's 50 data points creating a sine wave. Beautiful. Okay, so this is kind of lame. Not doing it justice. So let's do a cool example that I totally didn't steal from them. Also going to be using pandas, our other old friend. And this is where we're going to be reading from a CSV. I didn't really cover it. It does the requesting and stuff for you. Really nice. So this is the data that it just got from that website. That's looks like random data, but it's not. And now we're going to do go.surface, which is a 3D surface plot. Z data as matrix, which just turns it into a two-dimensional array. And we're also going to define a layout, which is something that we didn't do in the other ones, which layout is how you define how the chart actually looks. So you can define specific things about traces when you define a trace, but for the overall layout you can define like title, margins, height, width, axis, stuff like that. And then if we're using layout, we also need to define a figure, which is just a data with a layout, and then we can plot that. And it gives you this, which I believe is a real mountain. I didn't do my research. And yeah, that's got like a scale there. It's really cool.
Can you scroll up?
Sure. Where to there?
Yeah.
Is there a specific part you want explained?
No. Okay.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. And the docs are plotly or plot.ly/Python. They've also got JavaScript docs and stuff. If you look at that API reference, I would be wary because it's extremely large and poorly designed, to be completely honest. It will like crash your browser the first time. Yeah.